Hey toy fans, Aaron here. Back in between 2003 and 2005, there was about 3 seasons of cartoons titled Clone Wars. Different from the Clone Wars, though, that Dave Filoni produced. This was actually done by, probably butchering his name, Genndy Tartakovsky. Something close to that anyways. But, so prior to the Clone Wars that Filoni did, we had that series of shows that was done. They did like 3 seasons from 2003, 2005, as I think I already said. But that line was done definitely in this guy's style. He had done Samurai Jack and was now doing Clone Wars, Star Wars style. And certainly that show introduced us to characters like Asajj Ventress, Dirge. But anyways, there was a run of figures, about 14 figures, that came out in that time frame as Target exclusives, I believe. I think they were all Target exclusives. So, but anyways, as I said, we're going to take a look at Obi-Wan Kenobi. So let's head to that table and check them out. And here is Obi-Wan Kenobi on that packaging of Clone Wars. This was pretty different than what we had at the time for the rest of the line. With this card, you get the image of the clone trooper, the white clone trooper in the upper left corner. And then at the tip top right corner, of course, you can see that this aired as seen on Cartoon Network. Nice big Star Wars logo there on the center portion of the card. Off on the left side a little bit, you do see a little Clone Wars labeling here. And then, of course, you got a little animated photo of Obi-Wan Kenobi as he appeared in the cartoon. And then, naturally, you get to see the figure on the full bubble there. I really like the artwork of this card. I think, overall, a very nice presentation to it. Taking a look at the back side, of course, you got the Star Wars Clone Wars logo on the upper left corner with his name, Obi-Wan Kenobi, in the upper right. And this right up here, instead of a character biography, this is more about the animated series itself, how it came about, and what the show is covering. And then below that, you got images of all the figures that were available in the wave at the time. I think in total, there might have been 3 waves of the 14 figures. I think that's how it broke down. Taking a look at the figure out of the packaging, and I love this figure. I really like the way the whole line looks. I love the way the figure is painted. I will say, although I think in the head area, I feel like his hair is just a little too red instead of the brown. It's probably being a little nitpicky, but overall I do think this action figure does resemble Obi-Wan as he was seen in the cartoon very well. This figure is posed in a very action-oriented style. He's got his left leg straight out, right leg bent a little bit, and he's definitely in that fighting pose. And that's what you were going to get with these figures, is a very posed action figure. Again, going back into that head area though, the hairline's painted nicely, the beard looks great, paint job on the eyes looks fantastic as well. Getting through the uniform area, his chest, that midsection, his tabards have a little bit of a smidge darker tan to it, the paint job, so you can definitely make that out. Through the belt area, I don't know how well you can see below his arms, but the belt area looks fantastic, very nicely painted. You see the little silver pouches on the sides of his belt. And then through that leg area, again, colors are painted very nicely and pretty even through the breaks between the boots and the kneecap area there. So overall, like I said, I do think this is a wonderful looking figure. And of course, there was a run of figures that we got from this animated series that were done in a more lifelike representation. And then as we get into the articulation of this figure, his lightsaber is removable from his hand. So we'll come back to that in a little bit. But for the articulation on the head, you're just going to get some swiveling action there. It swings around all the way, no problem. Nothing happening up and down, though. Actually, there's a wiggle there, but it bounces back, so I don't know what that is. And then both arms swivel up and down, kind of more sideways due to the way that body's posed. We even got a little notch out on the arm so that hand sits nicely there, giving that lightsaber pose. No hand or wrist articulation. And actually, no, sorry, you do get waist movement as well. It does spin around at the waist, and then that's it for the articulation. These legs are locked into place here. And as for that lightsaber, the looks of it are pretty close to what we saw, that he should have. It's his lightsaber. A little bit more of a blue tint in this instead of the silver look through there. I believe that's the way it was done on the animation, at least as I look at the back of the card. It's kind of got that blue painting drawn in there. And you got a little kind of spark coming out at the top of the hilt for that lightsaber blade. I know at the time also a lot of the figures from the rest of the line were also kind of given this little look on their lightsabers. I think it fits in nicely with the figure. And so that's Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Star Wars Clone Wars cartoon series. I thought that overall it was a good line of figures, and I really liked this one as well, so I thought this would be a good place to start with that run. Alright, so that wraps up this look at the Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars Clone Wars series. I'm interested to know your thoughts on this figure, and even the show, in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.